Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Barocas. I am here for YOLO Live. I'm an independent producer in the Dallas area of Texas in the United States, but I know that this show goes everywhere around the world, as we've already seen by the people who were commenting earlier today. Let me get rid of that background. There we go. I want to bring in my first guest, which is, oh, not yet. Because I have that up. There we go. Bring you up here. And we are going to talk with Julio, who is
Hi.
our famous, very active in the Facebook group, a very supportive user of the YoloBox and the YOLO tools, so helpful in answering people's questions in the group, and even forming the YOLO Live in Espanol group. Tell us a little bit, and I know English is not super great, but tell us anyway about how you use the YOLO box.
Hi, my name is Julio Montaz. I've been using the YoloBox almost for 3 years. I have almost all the YoloBox. uh, in the Spanish group, I teach you how to use the YoloBox, but not as I talked to them before buy the YoloBox. Watch my video. Maybe you need maybe the original, maybe the mini or the pro. And I like help people in the group.
Well, I definitely appreciate you and all the work that you do in the group. And once again, Julio is my behind the scenes help for today's show. He has stepped up again. And if you message him, you will be able to join us in the show. He will give you the link and we can have a conversation with you live in the show. And you can tell us how you use your YOLO box. Now, I just want to preface this by, if you have a tech question, just post it in the comments and we will cover it. This is not like live tech support on the air. I don't want to put anybody on the spot who might be having a technical issue. But Julio is here, and I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be able to join us and tell us a little bit about their story. And did I put my glasses down on this table? I did not. I do see we have Jimmy. Jimmy Talks Tech. So let me bring Julio out, and we'll bring Jimmy in here. And hey, Jimmy. No, I gotta swing you over there. And tell us a little bit about yourself and how it works for you. I don't hear you yet. This is the magic of streaming technology. And for those who watch these shows and think that they are super easy, they are not super easy. And that's why I had to bring in Julio, because the ability to be able to send those links out to people at the same time as I'm doing the show is not really possible. So he's going to reconnect, and we make it look easy. That's what video producers do. We handle all this technology, and it's our job to make the stream look super easy, look effortless. If you ever watch the news on TV or a talk show, to have all the clips ready, all the titles ready, all the different shots ready, to make it look super easy, that's what we do. That's our job as video producers. And the YOLO box helps us make that look easier, because what it does is it makes it finger friendly. It makes all these things that used to take a half dozen computers, and it puts it into a little tablet that we can use. And that's really why we're all here, talking about the YOLO box, is because it is this really cool solution. So we're going to try to bring Jimmy back up again. Oh, I think I hear you this time.
Hello.
Hello, I do hear you.
Excellent. Good stuff. How you doing?
I am doing good. Thanks for being part of the show. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you use the YOLO box. How does it work for you?
So I first started using YOLO products when the Mini came out. I work in corporate live streams and event live streams here in Scotland. My daily driver kit is, I don't know if you're allowed to mention other products, but it rhymes with Schmack Magic. That's so I've been using those products for many years. When the Mini came out, I was very intrigued with it being an all-in-one device, and I thought I'll pair the Mini as a single input with, taking the multicam output from the Blackmagic devices, and that's what I've been doing for, I don't know, when did the Mini come out? 18 months ago, something like that. So that's more or less what I've been doing on most of my shoots. And then when the Ultra was announced, I thought, well, that's got 4. I know the Pro had 3 inputs, but I tend to use at least 4, sometimes more. So when the Ultra was announced, the 2 things that kind of made me want to jump on that was the 4 inputs and the 4K recording, not the 4K streaming. As nice as that is to have, like, as an option, there's not really a demand to stream in 4K.
No.
At least not in my market. But there is a demand for 4K recordings, because what I'd been doing previous to that, the Schmack Magic devices, they record a good quality 1080 file, and I would just upscale them to 4K and push that out as a 4K file. But it was really it was upscaled 1080p. So it was the 4K recording, the bigger battery, and the general incremental upgrades like the processor speed and whatnot. And
absolutely.
The USB-C.
The Ultra. Actually, if you go back a couple weeks, I don't know if you saw the show, I had 6 inputs in my Ultra. And I think, because you can use those 2 USB inputs with converters, and then all of a sudden, you've got now HD. Those are HD only. But being able to have 6 HD inputs, wow, that's really a game changer in a small tablet, and I think that can, I think people appreciate more camera angles, more variety, than trying to, like you said, trying to stream in 4K. I don't think there's a huge demand for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that it's an option there, that you can potentially market that to clients if you think that's going to make a sale, I suppose. But it's the 4K recording that I think is the key factor for me, and I think it will be for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I appreciate you being part of the show. This cool year-end show, I decided to open it up to get some feedback about how people use these tools. And I appreciate hearing how you use it there. And I do think the Ultra is going to be a really great tool. Also, because the way YOLO Live improves these products over time, the features that comes out today, we can look forward to years of new features in the future. So I think that really does. The future looks bright for the Ultra.
Looking forward to the updates.
All right. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I did hear another guest come in, Noel in Puerto Rico. Hey, let me arrange you on the screen here. There we go. Let's bring Noel up on this up here today. Noel,
hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Fine. Just having weather here.
Your audio is a little choppy, probably because you're on a cell phone going wireless.
Yes, that's it.
But for everyone who doesn't know, Noel, am I saying that correctly?
Yes, Noel.
Noel, especially, this is the great time of year for your name. He is a very active user of the YoloBox, I believe, for weddings, correct?
That's correct. Weddings, my goal for the YoloBox Pro user. I like it so much.
And he is based down in Puerto Rico, so he has very nice weather more of the year than the rest of us in the States. So
we have a warm weather here, sunny days, tropical Caribbean weather, so it's very nice. Yes, you're welcome to come here any time.
It's very, very tempting. Very, very tempting, especially, when it gets down to freezing in Texas. You wouldn't think it gets to freezing in Texas, but it does. How long have you been using the YoloBox?
Wow, I start with the YoloBox original at the beginning of the pandemic in the 2020. Then, as soon as they announced the YoloBox Pro, I just buy it and love it. Okay, right now I have the YoloBox Pro and the InStream, and maybe in a few weeks I will have the Ultra.
Yeah, the Ultra is indeed a game changer in terms of being able to handle even more inputs. That's the biggest thing for me is, the first thing I did was I lined it up with 6 camera inputs, and I was just able to switch between all of them, plus the ability to do your picture in pictures and your multi-views and your side by sides, and I just kept building them. I think I built 6 different side by sides. It's not limited to 2 like on the Pro. I just kept building them, and the
Yeah.
the inputs just scroll nicely up and down, so you can like get to whichever ones you want to get to. So it's really designed from the ground up to handle just more. That's the really thing. That's the thing I noticed really about the Ultra.
Yes, and I love also, and I need the ISO recording.
Right.
Recording for me is very important. Just have a backup of every camera, but I use 3 cameras for wedding. And if something happens, I want to have the option for edit that video in a better way. If something happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. The ability to have your program and 4 ISO records from 4 cameras in HD, that is a really handy feature. Plus, they all start when you say start, and they all stop when you say stop. You don't have to run around and start it on each camera.
That's it. Love it. So
So,
thank you, Dave, for this.
well, I thank you. I thank you for being part of the show. And being active in the Facebook user group, and you are part of what makes the user group enjoyable. I think is the camaraderie we have in the group between all of us who use the YoloBox and the InStream. I'm using an InStream right now to go to Instagram, and apparently I've got at least 4 people I've got to wave to. So thank you very much. I'm going to continue on to answer more questions. Take care.
Bye.
So you can see this is the original. You can see how small it is compared to the Ultra. This is the original YoloBox with the 2 HDMI inputs. And when I click on a show, it allows me to duplicate or delete. So yes, you can duplicate your shows in the original, on the Mini, on the Pro, on the Ultra. So you can indeed duplicate and move things forward. So thank you, Danny, for hanging in there while I answer that question. I'm going to bring you over here. Gonna try that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, don't do that. And let me bring you into the show. Hey, Danny, good to see you, man.
Hey, Danny.
And
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Danny, for those who don't know, Danny also. Am I okay to talk about this?
Whatever you want. I don't care. Oh, what? Oh, okay, sure.
Danny, has this is a YoloBox that doesn't look like much. It's a YoloBox Pro cage that protects it while you're traveling, and then swings around and gives you a nice tilted platform to use it. And that is, I think, super slick, because most of the other cages are all about protecting it in use, but you still got to buy a bag and stuff like that. I thought this was very innovative in terms of I don't have it in there because I need to have it out to use it. but the thing is, I couldn't demonstrate it if I was using it on mine. So it's like a catch-22. So but I liked this ability to I have it stored, it's in my bag, I don't the screen's protected, and then spin it around, and there I go. I plug my stuff in, and I'm ready to go working on that. And I thought that was something that I had not seen before in any other solution.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where if you need something, and you're like me, you're lucky enough to have a 3D printer and you can design things, you get it done. But I just think that the YoloBox thing right now is really kicking into gear because you know, I bought one a year and a half ago, and I have been in streaming since 2009, and I've used a lot of them. As a matter of fact, I've got a ton of different live stream systems. But now I'm going, wow, these other ones take a lot to do, and the YoloBox Ultra right now is it's like gold. I can just take this guy and go and do what I need. So I'm going to be designing more things for me because I'm one of these gadget guys. I like things to make it easy.
Well, I think everybody likes things that make it easy, and I think the epitome of that is the YoloBox. I mean, the fact that it's like, you know, you like me, we've been in the streaming industry a while, and it's like it went from like tables and tables of video production equipment, then computers made things easy, but then you need interface boxes, and you know, you have to deal with computers, you know. And that in itself is, you know, a whole thing. And then YoloBox comes out, and it's sort of like they came out into a field where there was like nothing. There was this big gaping hole of nothing, and they says, hey, look, we're going to give you a tablet, you know, because there were tablet solutions, but you couldn't plug real cameras into them. And there were things you could plug cameras into, but they weren't as easy as tablets. And YoloBox saw that these guys are over there, and these guys are over there, and there was nothing in the middle. And YoloBox said, ha!
Yeah. We call it a money maker, man. These things are money makers.
And what do you typically do on yours?
Oh, everything from city meetings to product sales. Like let's say a marketing group will come into the studio and they'll say we need to do some training and get this product out to all of our resources, all of our salespeople, and we need to let them have the information. Well, rather than flying them into Denver or up north here, they basically go live. And the way I work it is I will hook this up so that they can actually talk back and forth, so people can ask questions, and then they can show the product and all that. This thing's unbelievable.
I mean, I agree with you. It makes things so much easier. And also in terms of like things that were so technically hard years ago, like, you know, being able to like do the green screen and picture and all that stuff, that'd be like something that would like take, you know, let me get all this stuff in and let me tweak the settings.
Yeah.
I can put something together on the YoloBox with just a few taps, and it's like done. The green screen looks good, like this. Yeah. This is green screen. The green screen looks good. The picture-in-picture looks good. I've got two people talking. Boom. And it was super easy. And it allows producers, it allows any YoloBox user to focus more on the content or on your client than on the technical issues that are needed to make that happen.
Absolutely. I was amazed. You know, I kind of got the Ultra like a week or two ago. And when it first tapped on the green screen, I go, okay, I'll have to set this up. I go, holy crap. I really don't have to do anything else. It just went wham, and it was beautiful. So they've really gone. They've done a lot of research in getting this thing right.
Absolutely. I've posted in the group like, hey man, you know, it's like I just tap it on, and I'm like, I'm done. Wham. You know, I say, yeah, I've got a couple extra lights on the green screen to kind of even out the bottom because my light is, you know, up high. But it's like if you've got a reasonably even, you know, green background, boom, this thing will find it and nail it.
Yeah.
The only challenge is if I use a screen like this and it reflects the background, then
yeah,
it's also green. So
just call it water. It's just reflective, right?
or if I happen to hold up a magazine that has green in it, like the banner or the title here, yeah, it's any green will go.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So Danny, I appreciate you being an active part of the YoloBox group, being an active, you know, creator of YOLO solutions for the YoloBox. I think that's really cool because different people like to work different ways, and different cage solutions are going to work better or worse for different people. And, you know, I think it's great to have more solutions out there for us. And, you know, even like the YoloBoxes, the Mini serves some people, the Pro serves some people, and then there are power users who are like, oh, you want 6 inputs? You're going to need the Ultra, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, this thing has really provided me with a lot of opportunities, and I'm the kind of guy who, well, I've been in the business of video production. I've shot for Discovery, for Nat Geo, all kinds of companies producing television shows and stuff. And I went from back when what this thing will do it actually cost us $1 million plus to put in all the different things that this thing would actually do. I'm an old part, 61 years old, but part of that is nice. I've always thought, one day I'm not going to worry about having competition. I'm just going to say all this knowledge is up here. I'm going to just give it away for free, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And so I'm to that point. I go, I don't care if I'm getting competition, because I'm kind of, on my last years of retirement, whatever, I'm not retired, and I don't think I'll ever be retired, but I'm doing it for fun. And so now I get a kick out of telling other people kind of my trade secrets, and that's where I'm headed. I'm going to do a YouTube. I'm doing a YouTube channel, but I'm actually really kicking it into gear and just letting this thing spill out so everybody can take advantage and not have to go through what I had to, and that's her learn the hard way. So I'm looking forward to it. This guy is really providing all those opportunities. All the little things that they put in there, holy mackerel. If you think creatively, this thing allows so much opportunity to not only save money, but be very, very creative. It's really awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you've really hit it on the head in the terms of, these things make it so that other people who are just starting out on their production journey, because we're all at different points on this timeline. Some of us have been in it for many years and we know a lot. We've forgotten things that aren't even used anymore. Some people are just starting out and they just get the unit for the first time and they're like, oh wow, how does this work and what does that do and everything? And then they need that basic core knowledge that we have had in our heads for decades.
Yeah, exactly.
So kudos to you for, being, part of the team out there that is, providing that guidance and instruction to help other people get started and get ramped in, to their production career.
I remember things like this was so exciting. I'm trying to start thinking back to where I was when I first got the opportunity to be in video. And then so I want to provide that experience to them. I'm seeing that, the smallest of things that really seem just normal to me, they can be so exciting to somebody just jumping in and learning live streaming or live production. And so that for me, seeing a smile on the face or having somebody say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I get a kick out of that. I don't need money for it. I just love doing it. It's fun.
Well, thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being part of the YOLO, team on the Facebook group. And I really appreciate you also jumping on today's show, because I really wanted to highlight some of the YOLO users from the user group who are, who are available to those people who are starting out, and you have a question, you throw it into the group. There's a bunch of us who we'll jump in and try to help you and answer that question and advise you on, things that, don't work or do work, or why they work the way they do. Why is the industry the way it is? Like, why does NDI cost an extra fee? I don't really know. It just does. Everybody charges it. It's like I got a PTZ camera. I had to pay $300 in addition to get NDI working. So, and that's just the way the industry is. But to someone who is newer in the industry and just coming into it, they may hit that and be like, oh my God, why do I have to pay extra for that? Why is it not included? It's like, be glad you didn't spend $3,000 on a PTZ camera and then also have to pay $600 more.
Yeah. Oops, my heater just kicked on. Sorry, Anthony. Well, I probably better get back to work, but it was really good to talk to you, sir. And thanks for everything you guys do. The guys like you, they're actually putting the information out there and making it easier for guys like me to learn. That's huge, and we really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you saying, Danny. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And again, today's show is a call-in show. I'm going to release Danny there. And if you would like to be on the show, let me see if I can scroll back to Julio. And Dave Doopere says, YOLO Live is bringing the world together. Well, certainly in this show, there's an audience from around the world in this show. I'm always impressed to find how big the audience is, how active the audience is, and that, users around the world will take their time and tune in to the show. Ran my Ultra for a live show this morning. It was faultless. Ran 6,006 megabits H2C5, and the picture was great. I see we have Jay queued up and waiting. Good to see you, Jay. Let me get this set up here. I tap this, and then I drag here. And then yes, I'm switching in 3 places to bring a remote guest in. And then I tap here. Oh, sorry, 4 places. And then I tap here. And so, Jay, don't know if I hear you yet.
Hello.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, it's just perfectly quiet. Wow. Okay, good to see you. Jay is another big user of the YoloBox, and tell everyone how you use yours.
Yeah, firstly, thanks for having me on the show, Anthony. It's really nice to be here. I do aviation live streams, which are quite common across YouTube. Only been doing them since February, and probably wouldn't have got into it if it weren't for the YoloBox, because I was looking for that complete all-in-one solution. I didn't want to carry a laptop and a bunch of cables with me every time I went out, because obviously everything is exclusively outdoors. So yeah, I've got a really compact setup. Started with the Mini back in February, and took delivery of the Ultra last week, and it had its first show out this morning. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. As I put in the comments in the chat there, H.265 is a bit of a game changer for me, because for outdoor broadcast, when you're relying on cell service, you want to be bringing those megabits down when you can and not losing quality.
Do you also use bonding?
I did try bonding. I would probably go back to it if I needed to. Luckily, where I've worked so far, the signal's been good enough, and I've got 2 different cell SIM cards to use. So, but yeah, it's nice to have it there and available. Should I find myself in the back of Beyond?
Or the other option is ASP with a YOLO cast event, so that there's a buffer, so that if your data goes down, it'll continue streaming from the buffer, and then it'll fill back up when your data is back again. I know that's a possibility. Are you entered to win the free bonding?
I am, yeah. So I'd like to give it another go. I think the issue with the ASP for the work that I do is I need to interact with the audience, so I can't have that 2-minute delay.
Right. So that is very cool, and it's just another example of the many ways that people can do streaming. It's not something that me as a corporate producer would think of in terms of live streaming airplanes. But as you said, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of channels out there doing that. And I can vouch, having watched your stream, a couple times, I'm like, there are thousands of people watching this live. And that is an audience. That is a real, genuine audience that is being served by these live streams.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, you mentioned it in a show quite recently about bringing your own style to the sort of work you want to put out there when you're live streaming. And so for other people that are sort of worried about what they might want to put out there, you just need to put your own spin on it, really. And the YoloBox has been brilliant for that, with overlays and all the other bits and pieces that it can do. It's, yeah, really pleased with it.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of aviation on YouTube, but I did like when I watched yours, you were clearly listening to probably the tower or whatever. So you were able to tell the viewers what it was that was coming in from where and everything. So it provided additional context to just what we're seeing. And that was really valuable too. So like you're saying, this is how you're doing it. This is your spin on it. And other people can do it differently if they want to do it via graphics or whatever, or something like that. So, there's always different people, like, different audiences like different actors, and they like different performers. Hey, you're going to like different YouTube streams as well.
For sure, yeah. And it's about bringing your own personality through the stream, isn't it? So they're going to be different because of the people behind the camera. So yeah, it's really good fun. And obviously, when you haven't got to worry about the tech side of it so much, it's a load off the shoulders.
Yes, indeed. And that's one of the reasons, like, doing this show, running everything through the YoloBox Pro, it makes it easy, because I really only have one small 7-inch screen that I need to be looking at and tapping on. Okay, I do have InStream running at the same time on a different screen, but I'm not really paying attention to it. I'll just be honest. No offense to the people on Instagram. But yes, having that one screen,
I must say, sorry, yeah, stepping up to the Ultra, the bigger screen, brighter screen, massively important for me, and it's having used it, like I say, this morning in bright sunlight, it was brilliant. Much easier to use than the Mini.
Oh yeah, especially if you're coming from the Mini, because even the Mini, the Mini, I did a show once using the Mini, and I haven't since, because I have to jump between switching cameras, switching titles, comments, and on the Mini, that's a whole lot of juggling, whereas on the Pro, at least, inputs are always available. You know, it has a dedicated area, and the Ultra is the same way. So you have more screen real estate to have more things have dedicated spaces. So definitely, if there's viewers out there using a Mini and they're sort of outgrowing it a little bit, knowing that the other bigger boxes work differently and make it easier is definitely makes it a worthy upgrade.
And of course, and you mentioned it earlier in this show, the much bigger battery in the Ultra is a massive difference maker for outside broadcast as well. I want to travel and do some shows across Europe this coming summer, and obviously I'm not going to be able to take the Jackery or similar on planes. They're just not allowed. So you need to be able to find out how you can work your show with just what's contained within. And I tried that this morning, and yeah, just ran off the camera internal battery and the YoloBox itself. Yeah, just a little over 3 hours, the show this morning, and only used had 56% left of the Ultra. So it's, yeah, that goes for some time, that one.
Absolutely. It is, like I said, it is double the size of the Pro. And yes, the Ultra does use more resources, but you know, hey, if you're not switching 7 cameras in the field, then you're going to get some of that power capability back. And then, you know, having that power available, I did a test here where I did have all those cameras. I was streaming, recording, auto switching, and everything. And I think the thing went, you know, 3.5 hours, and I was just using everything at the same time, recording, ISOs, H.265, and it was just like, it was an abuse test, but it really, you know, we have to like look for that, you know, where is the upper limit where I would have a problem? Let me push that, find where that limit is, and then I know I can get to here and here and here with ease.
Yeah, for sure. I think for my use case, I'm never going to find that limit. So I can rest easy for sure.
All right, man. Well, Jay, I really appreciate you calling into the show and telling everyone how you use it and your experience with the Ultra. I definitely think it really does inform people that, you know, there are different options available for different people. And, you know, if there's a time when you outgrow the Mini, there are other models available that you can step over to and make your show even more involved.
For sure, yeah. And just echoing what Danny said before, your tech tip shows have been absolutely brilliant. When I first got into using the Mini, they helped massively. So I would encourage anyone that's watching today that hasn't got one of the YoloBoxes, have a look through those because they're really helpful.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and it's very nice of you. And thank you again, Jay. I'm going to come here. We're going to say goodbye to Jay. I'm going to say my farewell, and you all have a good new year.